Hey friends! So I was at a really poppin' party this weekend. We were watching Mulan 2. And as we were scrolling through the children and family section of YouTube, I saw Leo the Lion. And I had seen Saber Spark review this movie a long time ago, and I honestly didn't remember much of it. But what I remembered was that after that I was like, I think I should actually watch this one. So voila, I did, and now I'm going to tell you about it. There's the first thing that didn't age well. So, the one thing I did remember from that review I watched was that the whole gimmick of it is that Leo is a vegetarian lion. So, that's his shtick. That's the main, humorous juxtaposition of the movie. But the one weird thing, like this is going to sound weird, that I remember from the review is that there was this really badly animated chase scene, but what I did not realize is that that happens right off the bat. So this is Leo's mom who's hunting, and please note the heavy breathing. Because this was one of a couple times where I really thought my roommate was going to think that I was just watching porn. So Leo's involved in this hunt, but he doesn't really want to be, but he calls his mom over to the zebra.
That's my boy. Now watch carefully.
More moaning. And then we just have this really gruesome death scene, hello, Bambi, take the back seat. We actually see the moment that she dies. So now we're 5 minutes into this movie, and we've already gotten a sex scene and a death scene. But before his mom died, she told him that he would be safe if he went to the heart of the jungle. So that's cueing a growing up montage, except this one is really confusing. First, you see old him telling this story to kids, so it's oh, he's telling his story. But then you find out who the narrator is, and it's this antelope named Uncle Lope.
And no one knows where to find the heart of the jungle.
Bam, cut scene to a Lamaze class, and I'm starting to realize how strange this movie is.
Children are hard work, so it's best to be prepared.
But the next phase is that the elephant queen, Savannah, who I literally, even with freaking Uncle Lope, didn't realize that pun until I wrote this down. But Savannah is pregnant and she realizes that her babies are about to come. Luckily, Leo is nearby, so he runs into her and they have this little meet cute where he pretends that he's going to eat her and scares her, but then that makes her faint. And so while she moans, by the way, this is porno clip part 2.
Oh, and it's coming really fast. Oh!
She tells him that he needs to get her help to take care of her babies. So Savannah's backstory is that she was married to a just king, but he was captured by the outsiders, which are humans.
A helicopter.
And then you get gruesome death scene number 2, where this elephant gets shot to death. JK, they were tranquilizers, so he gets taken to the zoo. Now, what we find out through Uncle Lope's perspective is that this other elephant named Maximus Elefante was actually the one who set him up somehow to get taken away. So that's the basic background of this. And then back to the babies. They're with the babies and there's this fire so that everyone gets separated before they're happily ever after. I'm not even going to say that this is a Lion King ripoff because it's not just the same plot but with worse animation. I mean, it's also not really like they were trying to capitalize on it because I think having a movie with a totally African animal cast is sort of a thing. Plus, it was released in 2005, so that's a little late to try and get purchased in the DVD bin for some grandma thinking it's The Lion King. But really what this movie is doing is just taking all of these plot elements from The Lion King and then somehow making them spicier. Oh, we have the death of a lion parent. Well, let's straight up show the moment that her spine breaks. And then it's oh, we have this lion growing up as an outcast. Forget giving him 2 quirky friends. Let's give him kids. Kids that are latching onto him for emotional attachment because they need a father figure.
He must be our dad. He looks nothing like us. Wait up! Daddy, you're going so fast, we can't keep up.
Daddy? I'm not your... Wait, you guys, why aren't you with your mom?
'Cause we want a mom and a dad.
Yep, that's right. When that fire hits, Leo's the one who ends up getting stuck with the elephant babies because they're like, we need a daddy. So now we know that that meet cute is really leading to them getting this kind of forced relationship because they don't want to F up the kids' ideas of their own family structure. Also, we have that Maximus Elefante character. Now, the reason why he was sort of complicit in the death of that king was because he wants to take over power. So it's kind of a Scar-like thing. It's, you know, a person taking the place of the king even though they're not the rightful ruler. But let's have him do it through this forced political marriage, because that's exactly what happens too. He finds Savannah and he's like, I'll find your kids for you, but you have to agree to marry me. She's like really sad about it, kind of coerced into it. But don't worry, because he still gets his little Nazi dream sequence.
I get what I want or I will smash you down. Nobody's safe whenever I'm around. March to my drum, you better do what I say. 'Cause I make the rules, I'm Maximus Elefante.
So I think we can agree that that was a song. And I know that sounds really weird, but honestly, sometimes with this movie, I am not sure. Like, the next thing that happens is that Leo and his little adopted babies and Uncle Lope find a few more orphans, and they start this ragtag bunch. And, like, Leo kind of just starts singing, and they join in, but it's like, I don't know if this was badly translated, because apparently this movie used to be Italian. This is the English dub. Like, maybe this works way better in Italian.
Now, we don't have a map, and the children need a nap. But with good old Uncle Lope, I believe that we can cope.
And
Together,
start.
here we are. Together, we'll go far.
Uh-oh, still talking.
Together, here today.
Together all the way.
Together, we'll pull through.
All right,
Just
first
the thing
verse.
you gotta do. When your back's against the wall, you've got nothing else at all. You gather all your
And
friends,
first verse is
muster
going on a
all the
little
strength
longer.
within.
And if you're not so strong, just grin and sing this song. Called Together.
Oh, yeah.
Together, not apart. Sing it, kid! Ah! Friends forever. Together, not apart. You find the jungle's hard. Wait, hey! That's the same butterfly from earlier.
And speaking of the Lion King, there's also an elephant graveyard scene in this too, but forget Hamlet inspired. This one goes straight to Lady Macbeth.
Leave me, departed spirits. Leave me alone. I need to get out of here. It's him, the king. I'm sorry. I betrayed you.
So now at this point, there's kind of a lot of like filler, a lot of, oh, what I thought was me watching Leo the Lion turned into me taking a nap. But it's basically, you know, the ragtag group is trying to get to the heart of the jungle. Meanwhile, Maximus is trying to get the babies. But there's also this really weird scene where they are trying to reunite the orphan zebra with her mom, but they're also trying to like coerce the mom into giving milk to the other babies.
Now, madam, what would you exchange for the good news that your little one escaped the fire?
But is it true?
Ebony is safe.
She's so happy he's giving us milk.
And it's really strange because, like, on one hand, great attention to detail. Like, there was a scene a few, minutes before this in the movie where the kids were complaining about being hungry, and I was like, oh yeah, what are they eating out there, But, like, are kids really gonna care about this? I mean, this is a strange, like, someone saw this as a plot hole and was like, we need to fix it. But I think the way that the movie starts to conclude makes a lot of sense. First of all, I'm biased, but they make it to the heart of the jungle, and though the actual scenery is quite underwhelming, and the monkey agrees.
Oh, we made it at last. Oh.
This is it? Where's the food? I want to eat!
The god ruling over it is this female chameleon shaman. So that's, really my shit. You can't tell that's chameleon. But yeah, I'm into it. And she sings another one of those fake songs. This one lasts like 3 minutes. She eventually gives Leo like this flooding therapy for his PTSD.
It's time to face your biggest fear. The courage is within, my dear.
I'm not afraid anymore! I'm free!
And that's when he learns that the heart of the jungle is inside you all along. Except it's kind of not, because it also is a real place, and some of the orphans get to stay there with Mama Cam. Then, of course, dun dun dun, Maximus finds Leo with the babies, and at this point, Savannah's there too, and Maximus kind of puts it on Leo, saying, oh, he's a lion, he was going to eat them, and she takes his side, so Leo lets the babies go, but, like, they also get in this fight, and Maximus almost kills them. Like, he definitely almost kills Uncle Lope. And I know Uncle Lope's the narrator, so we know that he survives. But honestly, with this Game of Thrones-esque, like, deaths and wet nurses and political marriages, you can't really be sure. He could be a ghost narrator. But then Leo comes to object at the wedding, and the kids call him daddy, and the cycle is complete. Maximus gets his just desserts by getting captured by the same people that captured the old king. Now, as a zoo person, I object because no one takes animals out of the wild anymore, but let's just assume this was set in the weird, like, modern vehicles meets elaborate hats, weird 1800s time period that Nice Cats was set in. So I was about to give this movie a pretty positive rating. Like, you could totally play a drinking game to this, or like if you had a really little baby, you could just put it on for them while you kind of take in all the strangeness of the plot. Or if you had a cool older kid, you could watch it with them and it could be like, baby's first let's make fun of this movie. Ooh, but then the ending. Weird hybrid babies. Yeah, I guess love is love, but oh, that's still strange. But that isn't even what made the ending of this movie really cringeworthy for me. It was apparently one of the biggest numbers and the biggest memorable thing about this movie, because this is the main search result on YouTube.
Leeks and honeydew, baba ganoush and chutney too. Organic sprouts, oh my. I'm thinking of a dinner of tasty hot stir fry.
I'm a vegetarian. I'll say again, yes, I'm a vegetarian. I didn't say a veterinarian. Listen again. I'm a vegetarian.
Don't start singing to me about soybeans. I already eat a lot of tofu. This is what did it for me. Maybe this is for kids, because maybe the moral of the story is just to eat more vegetables. So that's Leo the Lion. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, leave a note if you have another movie you want me to cover. I think this might be what I stick with.
Welcome to the heart of the jungle, everyone.